Greetings, citizens. This is Lance Starbolt, and we're playing. Oh, wait, what are we playing? Why does my costume look strange? Oh my god, I don't have any fingers! Friggin', what's going on? Lance, chill. This is City of Heroes. A lot older game than Champions, and so yeah, naturally you're going to look a little different. They didn't really have the technology back then to have individual fingers on characters. It's hideous is what it is. Lance is not pleased. Let's get back to Millennium City. Well, this is sort of the predecessor to Millennium City in some ways, although in some ways Millennium City is the predecessor to this. Since I believe that the developers were big fans of the Champions game, pen and paper game, and that's what inspired them to create this game. So anyways, welcome everybody, thanks for joining us. This is episode 3 in our Remembering City of Heroes series, and we are back in Paragon City. This is King's Row, where we left off. And I did work out why I couldn't find the mission maps. There's actually, believe it or not, a mod for Paragon Chat that extends the map menu to let you get into the missions, get into the mission maps, excuse me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cough right in your ears there. But last time I'd updated, I guess I'd erased that, so I had to put it back in. So anyways, thought we'd take a look. Let's see if we can get into this here. Don't forget, if you like this video, tickle that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Try to get videos out for you every day. And I've been keeping to that pretty well. I've had a couple of days I've only gotten one video out, but I've gotten videos out every day, and nearly every one of them I've gotten 2 videos out. So you can see here we got lots of mission maps. And let's see, is there a bank heist map? Here's a bank map. Let's check this out. So we were talking last time about how you'd be doing the radio missions, the police missions, and then you'd get... This really isn't what I wanted. Let's see if there is a better one. And then after doing so many of those, there would be a bank robbery, and you get called in to help prevent the bank robbery. I don't see that map. It's probably 2 different maps anyways. But yeah, you'd be in you'd end up in a section of the city, whatever zone of the city you were in. You'd be working your way across there. And you'd get to the bank, and you'd be coming in here with your group to try to stop the bank robbers. And they're, you know, they'd have parts, you know, members of their gang in here you'd have to fight through. And the robbers, I think they actually started out in the bank vault, and you'd have to, you know, get as far in as you can and try to stop them before they escape. If you were really good and lucky, you could stop them before they got out of the bank. Usually, though, it seemed like they would make it out of the bank, and you end up chasing them across the city, trying to catch them before they were able to make it out. But here you see the bank. Sort of, I think the bank here, it's there are variations of it, I think, if I remember right, but it's more or less the same basic map for all the hero bank missions and for the villain ones where you're actually trying to get in and rob the bank. But yeah, so that's this map here. The other one, oh, I don't know if we can actually get around. Unfortunately, some of them have like some of the mission maps have doors you have to go through, and those doors don't work in Paragon Chat. So you can go into the mission, but you can't actually get anywhere because the door is stopped. If we were using Icon, I could use developer commands, but you can't use the developer commands in Paragon Chat for obvious reasons. They don't want people getting trolled by other people using developer. Let's see here. So yeah, I'll show you one of the other ones here. So you'd also be doing a lot of missions. It seemed like in the game period would be in Warehouses. Let's scroll to the bottom of the map here. So let's go with the big one here, Warehouse 60. This is one of the warehouse maps. This was actually a newer map after they'd done graphic updates. The original warehouses didn't look this spiffy. But this was updated, so the textures and the walls and stuff look better than the originals did. But yeah, you'd come in, you guys, you know, when you'd be playing, you'd come to the building the warehouse was in. You'd come to the actual warehouse exterior, and you'd go in a door, and you'd end up right in here, and you get your party together and come around, and usually you could come out to here, like to where this yellow line is here. You'd come out into this area, and the first bunch of bad guys would be out here somewhere, and you could start beating on them. And you know, there would be all sorts of groups, and it was nicely set up the way it was done, in that you'd fight a lot of minions, which you could just usually wade through, unless you were really low level. You could wade through a lot of minions, especially if you had a large group. And City of Heroes, I don't remember if prior games were like this or not. I know games these days, your teams are 4 or 5 people, but City of Heroes, your team, or group, whatever you want to call it, was up to 8 players. So you could have a really good-sized group going on here. You'd have maybe a tank, and then a backup tank, and a healer, and a couple scrappers, and a couple blasters, and maybe a controller or two. And, you know, it'd be all sorts of mixes. Of course, you know, sometimes you could have a controller who, if you couldn't fight a tank, sometimes somebody's controller could tank. If they were good and their controller was you know, decently powerful, they could actually using their control powers, they could keep the bad guys busy while the blasters and scrappers did their job. And of course, now it changed a lot later in the game when they tried to make, I'm not sure if ubiquitous is the right word, but they tried to make you know, the character archetypes so that you could solo on everything. Unfortunately, I didn't really like that very much. It was nice that you could solo on anything, but it really made the game a lot more bland, in my opinion. I remember I had taken some time off from the game at one point, and when I came back, you know, some of those changes happened while I was gone, and when I came back, I was playing my tank and trying to tank the, you know, way I had learned to tank, and people were just getting annoyed with me because you didn't have to do that anymore. It's just because the game had changed. It didn't make any difference. You didn't really have to tank the way you used to have to tank. It used to be, you know, your tank would go out ahead, he'd aggro the next group, and you'd pull them back to you, you know, close to the team, and then your controllers would hit them with control powers. Then your blasters and scrappers would go in, because the tank would have the aggro on them, and the controller would be helping with that by stopping their ability to move. And then your scrappers and blasters would be dealing the damage, and your healer would be sitting there, you know, trying to heal up anyone who was taking damage. It was really fun. Everybody had their own. It was a, you know, a well-knit team. Everybody had their own purpose on the team, and you had to work together. But it could be frustrating too, because if you couldn't get players of an AT you needed, of an archetype you needed, or if somebody wasn't very good at their job, it could really make the team bad. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the challenge of all of that. But yeah, you would just slowly make your way through, and then you run into lieutenants, which would be a bit more powerful than the minions. So you'd have a lieutenant and a few minions, and those would be a bit more interesting fights. Then you get some of the mini bosses, where they'd be bosses, but not as powerful as the main bosses, and you'd have to work your way through them. Let's get Fly going here. You'd have to work your way through them in order to finally get your way to the main boss in the mission. If there was a main boss, sometimes there wasn't. I don't know what was going on. I think this map is sort of circular. I remember this map being such a pain, actually, because it is all circular and everything. This is the biggest of the warehouse maps, I believe. All this, man. Yeah, I remember, and these missions took so long because the map is so big. Okay, well, let's get out of here then. So we were talking about, you'd end up into there, and I don't remember whether it was Skyway or Steel Canyon you went to next. We'll take a look at Skyway. Where is it? Skyway City. There we go. And Skyway is a very different zone from what we've seen so far. A lot of, as you can see, check this out. Now we're at the train station here. Now, when I started playing the game, in the original game, there were two lines. There was the yellow line and the green line. I think I've got that right. It's been a long time. And they didn't meet. And one line was for the lower level characters, and then once you got to a certain level, you could transit a zone. There were some zones that had both a yellow line station and a green line station, and you'd have to yellow line to one of those zones and then transit to the green line to get to where you were going. It did make it a lot more convenient when they merged those together, but again, when they do stuff like that, it also takes out some of the challenge and some of the fun. So, it had its good parts and its bad parts, and they did. This place used to be terrible for trolls, from right. Lots of trolls, especially up on these highways. There'd be gangs of trolls up in these highways. Not a lot of cars, mind you. It's great big huge highways, and there'll never be very many cars. So cars were, they're animated, they're NPCs, basically, and they're moving around, and they don't want to bog down the map with a bunch of them, so there'd just be a few, just enough to add the sort of flavor to it. They'd be on the streets down here as well, of course. But this was always such a challenging zone, especially if you didn't fly. Because, just look at this. Look at all this area. Look at this underneath here. And you'd have missions that would be tucked underneath things. I remember sometimes you would have such a devil of a time, and I think Brickstown was like this too. You'd have such a devil of a time finding the mission, because the mission would be like covering here, and it's saying the mission is under the ground right here, and you'd look around and finally find that there was a tunnel somewhere, and you had to go through that tunnel, and it could make it really challenging finding your mission. Like this here, can you imagine being up here and it's telling you the mission's down below you, and you finally figure out, oh, there's an area down here, and you gotta come in here and go all the way down, to this little thing here, and come here to do a sewer mission. Actually, let's go ahead and look at sewers since we're at it. Okay, so like we'd be going to a sewer mission. I can find a sewer map. Sewer to office. Well, yeah, let's check this one out. Sewer to office. This would be one that'd be a combination. It'd be you'd enter the sewer, but then you'd go from the sewer into an office. So yeah, you come into the sewer system like this, and from our Champions game, you look at this compared to the Champions sewers. You can see a lot of similarities in them. But definitely, City of Heroes sewers were a lot more grungy. In a way, it seemed like City of Heroes had a sort of more of a 90s flavor to it. Oh yeah, this one, you'd be coming along here fighting these guys down on each side. There'd be guys hidden back here and stuff. Trying to sprint on, so I'm running a little faster. And then you run into stuff like this. With, well, which direction are we going? Because you can go that way, you can go that way, or you can go this way. And sometimes somebody would have done the mission, or know the map that we're on at least, and so they'd know which way to go. And it'd be different with different missions too. Sometimes your boss might be in here, There are lots of times I've done missions on this map where the boss is right back here behind whatever this thing is. Really, you know, it's funny, the champion sewers just don't have this. They don't have the water. They don't have like these big pumps and things. They do have machinery in them, but they're more like they're just very big open cellars more than sewers. Can you imagine fighting in these and, you know, getting stuck over here? And, oh, I actually did manage to get through there. But sometimes you'd be stuck, you wouldn't be able to get through. And were we in? No, we were not in here already. I remember some really tough fights in this room here. Oh, wow. Yeah, I haven't seen this room in so long. This would be such a nuisance. Oh, my goodness. Getting back in here and fighting these guys back here. And there'd be so many baddies along here. And you're sitting back here. I played healers a lot. I like playing healers. Excuse me. And you're trying to, you know, keep an eye on everybody and heal. And you're back here as a healer, right? And so, you know, you come into this room, and if the party isn't really coordinated, you get, you know, some people go off this way, like maybe your tank and a controller, and the blasters go over here, and then a couple of your scrappers see somebody over here and go running off over here. And you're trying to heal, and maybe, okay, I'm following the tank. Tank's the leader. I'm following the tank. So you're over here, and then scrappers, you see the scrappers are dying. And you're like, oh, gods, and you're running over here trying to get to the thing. And it's like, hey, we split the party. Guys, we split the party. And you'd always hear the healer yelling at people to get back together because I can't heal all of you if you're not all in the same place. Oh, man. Boy, this takes me back. But yeah, after the changes, it seemed more like, you know, you didn't bother with tactics anymore. Just everybody ran in. And it didn't matter what ATs you had with you. Pretty much anybody could handle anything. I mean, obviously, you know, a healer's not going to be very good at fighting on their own, but everybody pretty much run in and do their things, but nobody really needed healers, and nobody really needed tanks and stuff like that, which seemed sad. Seemed sad to me. Alright, let's get out of here. Let's go look at Steel Canyon. Now, I remember Steel Canyon. I gotta figure out what button I'm supposed to be hitting. Steel Canyon. I remember being a big thing when you went to Steel Canyon, because when I started playing, now it's changed since then, but when I started playing, the first tailor you could get to get new costumes or to alter your costume was in Steel Canyon. And actually, this is actually the center of the map here. I want to take you down to the other end. Hope I'm headed in the right direction. Am I headed in the right direction? Yes, I am. So yeah, your first time coming here, you come in on the, pretty sure it's the yellow line. Man, memory, I tell you. You'd think it was years ago. Still frequently hang out with one of my friends from City of Heroes. It's really, it's great that we've still sort of stuck together as friends and still play stuff together. But here you come in the train station here, and the place you want to go is the other side of the map. See, here we are right down here, south end, and there's the tailor clear up there. And so you'd be, I can't remember, I'm thinking we'd come here actually sometimes before we had travel powers, because you didn't get the travel powers till level 14. And I think it was like level 10 when you could first come up here and get to the tailor. And this is the university here where they added the invention system. This was not here originally. But, you know, you'd make your way around, and I would usually try to, you know, come around the outside here. And so you're just running around. You're running down these streets, and there's all sorts of baddies, you know, gangs and stuff on the streets. And your stores are here too, where you'd buy enhancements, sell enhancements you don't need, and buy new enhancements. And I think, actually, I played Magic a lot, and I think, is this, yeah, here it is. Here's Pandora's box. Oh, we can actually go in too. Cool. So yeah, now here's where you'd come as a Magic. When you started doing in this zone, you'd come here. When you got up to the appropriate level, you come here, and you'd talk to the people here in Pandora's box to get your new enhancements, and of course sell off stuff that you got in drops as you you know, did your missions. And everybody, it depended on your origin, what store you went to. So, you know, this would be the Magic folks. I think all the others, I think the tech and science were both sort of in the middle where that statue was, where we first zoned in. And I think the mutant one was closer. I think the mutant one, I don't remember, some of them were spread out. The mutant one, I think, was closer to the rail station when we came in. So yeah, you'd make your way down here, and there'd be, you know, bad guys in all these areas. Circle of Thorns would be here. I'm trying to think who else. Skulls. I'm thinking Skulls were here. I could be wrong. I'm trying to think who else was here. There were other groups that were here. Council, maybe? Oh man, I don't remember. I wish NCSoft would at least just release the server. I mean, they say they don't have it anymore, but if they just, like, release the server image to the fans so that we could play the game again, that would be great. I mean, even if, you know, you had to set up your own servers. I mean, we do that a lot these days. Look at Ark. We got our own Ark server and all that stuff. So, yeah, here's your tailor here. Yeah, and this place would always have a few people, and sometimes it'd be packed. And see, speaking of which, there's somebody here. Battery. But yeah, you come in here. This was sort of a special tailor, if I remember right. This was, yeah, Surgeon. When they added the ability to change your character's size and shape, they added this tailor in here. But you'd also come in here and talk to Surge and get missions from him. There was a special mission you did from him, I think. I think you did a special mission for him at level 20 to get your cape. So you weren't allowed to have a cape. Somebody else coming in. It's cool seeing people. It was really cool seeing people. Oh man. Oh man, that really just brings back memories. It really does. We're splashing through this lake a number of times trying to get across from the tailor over to the train station. Now this would be the Green Line station here. There's also an entrance here. What is this to? I don't remember. To Boomtown. Okay, so, oh, I remember Boomtown. I remember hating Boomtown. But yeah, sometimes you come up here to go to Boomtown to do missions, or you'd come up here and catch the Green Line, where then you could get to other locations. You know, I'd swear this construction here wasn't here originally, and it was added at some point, and I thought sure they were going to add something new over here, but nothing ever got added. It's real cool, though. Cool looking little construction area. But you know what? We are out of time for today, so that's it for our third trip down memory lane. Just remember, if you like this video, tickle that thumbs up button for me. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Or Lance wants me to fix this out. Thanks for watching, everyone. You have a great day, and we will see you in our next video.